Hello and welcome on in, everyone. Today we're going to answer the question that I know everybody has on their mind, and that is Blazing Shield actually OP? Well, I've been playing around with it a lot in PvP because I've been playing a Blazing Shield build, pairing it with the Spiked Bone Shield to just return a ton of damage back to my attackers. And during my early impressions of this build, I definitely thought it had potential, but I wasn't really quite aware of just how good it was. And now, well, that I've gotten kind of used to playing it and I'm getting the hang of just how to use these damage shields, I gotta say, this could possibly be the way to play Stamina Templar, maybe even Magicka Templar for the foreseeable future. I mean, the benefits of a build like this, of course, are not only going to give you a 17k damage shield stack, but you've got 45k hit points, which means you're very resistant to incoming enemy burst, and especially in solo PvP, that's a massive deal, because it means we can take a lot of punishment and still manage to squeak out alive. And the fact that we can return so much damage by reflecting it back to our opponent means that we don't really give up any damage going for a build like this, versus if we had 30 or 25k hit points. I mean, our individual skills are obviously going to deal less damage, but the fact that we have so much extra reflected damage on top, you guys will see in this fight, it's not just me killing these blue players, they are going to be killing each other. So without further ado, let's jump into that PvP commentary, and I hope that you guys enjoy this fight. This is definitely, I think, the best one I've had on this build yet. Now, right off the bat, you can see I throw the Bone Shield down. We don't even have the Blazing there. And that enemy player's just throwing the Dizzy Swings down and hurting himself like crazy off the Spiked Bone Shield, and then we drop the Dawnbreaker into the jabs, and just like that, we can burst through his 26 or KSO hit points, and then right away turning on top of that other player there and getting him with the jabs into the Executioner as he falls. I'm not sure if it was fall damage that got him. I right away turn around and start attacking the sword behind me here. That enemy Templar is very, very tanky. We've been duking it out with these guys a little bit prior in the keep, so I didn't want to waste my time too much, but he throws down the Ballista. Oh my gosh. That's okay. We're just going to try to take these guys on a different location in this fight. And the blue players here are just kind of spreading out in this keep. I think they are expecting me to do a lot of kiting around, which we definitely are because we're in medium armor. But at the same time, if they piled up on top of me, we'd be able to put a lot of AoE damage into them. And you'll see just like that, where these two players jump on top, they break both my shields. And before the jabs even come down, we've already got them at about 70% hit points. And I just repottle this enemy player here and then go for the jabs. He does a lot of rolling away, and I see the enemy warden come up. Just go for a kite around the corner, reset my shields. A nice big blast on that player again from the reflect on the shields as they break them. And I just do another little kite, reset the shields again. I really like the combination of the damage shields and medium armor. I feel like we didn't have to give up too much mobility, and dodge roll is just too darn good a skill if you're running damage shields. A big Dawnbreaker there. Unfortunately, we weren't able to really capitalize on that. We didn't have the pottle up either, and the other enemy players were kind of blasting us, so I just go again, a little bit of movement, get those shields back up, and the blue players are all over this keep. So yeah, I'm kind of a little wary being up top too, because we've got enemy archers coming in the fight as well. So we just hang out at the bottom here. Two players come down. We go for the jabs on top of this guy here. He actually has some pretty impressive healing power when he gets his heals going. So we just got to make sure to catch him with a good burst when he doesn't expect it. A good off-balance stun on top of that enemy warden, and he goes into his big hit point heal there. And I just right away jump on top of these two in the back. We get a great smack on that Sork, I believe, there again, putting the damage with the Dawnbreaker, but we can't stick that out. We're very quickly just hit by a lot of players in the open there, and the blue players, they just follow me inside, start charging through here. We're just going to do a little bit of kite work, go for that heavy attack, get a little bit of stand back, and I right away jump on top of the guy on siege, seeing if maybe I can catch him with a bit of burst here, because he doesn't have his buffs up, but he right away just goes into the block. The other players start cursing me up. We got the snipes coming in too. Not the best thing, I think, to stick around there, so we just go for that Purge. And I gotta say, Purge is such a great skill for this build. Not only is Vigor Purge combo gonna give us some good healing power, but the fact that Purge heals us so much over time, and we have so many hit points for that heal away to take advantage of. And we, of course, just do a little bit of kite work here, making sure to keep our shields up. And I hold still a second there just to hit the record button, because this fight is pretty long, and we were in the keep a long time before it, but I ended up cutting most of that out of the fight just to give you guys this little bit of tower. And right away, we show our face outside. They hit us with a nasty stun. I just reset the shields. It's actually okay for us to just go out like that, get hit by the counter stun, and then go reset our shields, because again, we get that wear and tear, and we catch the Dragon Knight with a nasty Dawnbreaker there into the jabs, and we put the work in to bring him down. Go for the Pottle on the guy that's trying to get the res there, and he does a great job just going into the block. He's not going to let us get the advantageous stun. There's a couple blue just hanging out here watching too. That's great as long as they're not adding more pressure on top of what we have to take here already. And these guys just continue to attack us. There's the Dawnbreaker. Good sidestep there. The negate coming down, never a good time. That being said, having the stamina, shield, and vigor, super great on this build because we can actually do a bit of work inside a negate. And we put some good jab work into this guy, just kind of catching him with his defensive buff down there. But the enemy siege coming down. Enemy siege coming down here too. We're just kind of sandwiched all over the place here. And we fall down to the bottom. I'm going to hit that vigor again. Go for the shields. We've got 2 players on top of us. Go for the Power of the Light, and I go for the Dawnbreaker and the jabs and the Executioner to finish him off. The enemy Templar abandons him and goes up the staircase there. And this guy here just throws his weapon away, but he's been attacking us way too much. We're not going to let him just get away that easily. Jump on top of him with the jabs, finish him off with the gap closer into a little bit more jab work there. And this guy on siege, man, there's a lot of players sieging me here. The meat bag, honestly, the meat bag's not so bad because we're not spending too much time low HP. That being said, I'm kind of forced into the rest of ult here. I think that was the right call. We didn't take a huge amount of damage, but if anyone had gone for the ult dump there, that would have been super dangerous. So, yeah, especially with the siege at the doorway as well. We managed to get back into our little safety spot here. And man, this build in a tight little tower like this, so much fun to play. Very, very easy for us to just continue to kite around, keep our resources going, and keep our heals going as well. The rotation of the shields and the vigor just allowing us to reset. And I drop down to the bottom here, hoping that they will follow. Honestly, at this point, I don't really want to fight up top there anymore. There's so much siege. We got snipers up top as well. I just want to see if these guys will come down and fight me at the bottom here. And this guy decides to, so we go for the jabs, but he goes for the heals right away, and we didn't do a good job with that combo. There was no good Pottle there either. He goes for the counter Dawnbreaker, just going to reset the shields here. Unfortunately, he doesn't put out enough damage for our shields to really add a lot of additional pressure. But speaking of the shields, we jump on top of these guys, go for the Dawnbreaker, and the shield burst and the Dawny there, almost bringing down that blue player. And just absolutely slammed by the siege right away. Oh man, I don't know what to say. I am going to go back up there. We all know that's exactly what I'm going to do. There's no way that I'm not going to charge right back into that siege. This Warden continuing to just kind of be a nuisance here. He's just healing himself away. And again, with his Betty Netch, he keeps purging off that Power of the Light. So it's tough to get that good kill. Just jumping out to the siege line here. Like, come on, these guys are giving me a rough time here. So we're going to try to take him off the catapult. Keep putting the Pottle on this guy. He's giving me the kite business. There's the negate, the sniper up top. I'm actually trying to get the gap closer to just charge up top there, and the game not letting me do it there. I probably should not try to do that because you usually can't. And we just go for the kite. He stuns us as soon as we get to the top of the staircase. A little bit of a delay on that stun break, but we managed to get a good counter Dawnbreaker on the group there. But they counter with their ultimates. I'm dropped super low hit points here. We're just rotating the purge, the shields, and the vigor, and we managed to come back. And honestly, I'm surprised. Look at the healing power we have here. We're keeping our shields up, and our hit points are just shooting right back up to full. And these guys are keeping the pressure now. There's definitely a couple more blue that have entered this fight too. And the meat bag coming down, forced to take kind of a bad jump there and slammed by the Dawny. And down we go. So that's the fight. I've got a little bit of another fight for you guys here as we say our goodbyes. But I gotta say, I am very impressed with this build. And the more I play it, the more that I really feel like this is not only just a great build, but could possibly become a very popular Templar build for the future. Our massive hit point pool and big damage shields make us incredibly resistant to incoming burst, and on top of it, we can return a lot of that damage back to our attackers. Now, I know you guys are going to ask this question, what is the weakness of this build? And it's sustained pressure, anything that can apply a ton of pressure without being pushed away by our damage shields, so something like a ranged attacker, something that uses a lot of damage over time at ranged, is our biggest weakness, because we'll just get worn down by it eventually. We can't out-heal that amount of sustained pressure, because at the end of the day, we're still just a medium armor Templar with big fat damage shields on top. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, you can always hit that subscribe button. If you guys want to send in your clips for the top 5, or if you guys want to send in a build to be featured on the channel, you can send that to KristoferESO@hotmail.com. You can check me out on Twitch if you guys want to catch some live gameplay, and follow me on Twitter if you guys want to keep up to date with what's going on with me. Check out my website, KristoferESO.com, for written guides to all of my builds, as well as a hub for all of my ESO content. We're sponsored by What the Fast, a VPN for gamers. They can give you better ping to your favorite games, free to try for the first month. Link down below for you guys. And then last but certainly not least, a big thank you and a massive shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. Without you guys, I couldn't do this job, so thank you everybody for supporting. Thank you everybody just for tuning in and watching today. As always, I'll see you next time, and have a great night, everyone.